We did a class chalet, and one of my classmates actually got possessed. I remember I was standing in front of the bungalow, just waiting lah. Then she came up to me. She's like, "I need to go." I'm like, "You go where?" "I need to go towards the sea. They're asking for me. They're calling for me." And we are
not live.
Hello everyone, it's the 13th of the month.
We're back again. You know us. It's Wayne, it's Kyle, co-creators of Ghost Maps, and of course, your host for Dead Air.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, so before we get into the main topic of this episode, let's address a couple of comments from our last episodes and other episodes of Dead Air with just Wayne and I.
Yep.
This one I really like. I added it in after. Rick Sanchez, ST3MJ said, "A little fun fact about Bukit Brown. It was part of the rock." And this was in reference to our episode with the cemetery one. And then the road. I think it was our road, also the highway episode.
It was probably the highway episode.
Yeah, the highway episode. We're talking about Mount Pleasant Road or something.
Yes.
Somewhere near there. Then Rick Sanchez was saying a little fun fact about Bukit Brown. It was part of the rock that the Japanese fought during, 1942.
What was happening during 1942?
Oh, Imperial Japan attacked the entirety of Asia.
Was something going on?
Yeah, some small stuff. And during the fall of Singapore, people have found war relics, buttons, bullets, casing, and etc. Along Adam and Lonnie Road area, and then there's the part of the highway where, in the middle of the cemetery, that there was a theory that there was mass graves, which is not uncommon in Singapore.
Yeah.
The Chinese were ethnic cleansed by the Japanese when they invaded us. So they did a lot of mass graves. And after the cleanup efforts, after the war, a lot of mass graves were found. And I'm not surprised that if there is a mass grave over there, anyway, the cemetery is just there. Bukit Brown predates World War II. So, and he believes that there's a survey done prior to the construction of a highway that cuts through Bukit Brown right now. So there's a highway, newly built, like a couple of years only, cuts through this Bukit Brown cemetery, which is the oldest Chinese cemetery outside of China in Southeast Asia, before it was built. So some of the graves even have bullet holes as evidence that there were combatants on the ground. And there's anecdotes of people whose ancestors were hurriedly laid to rest during the war because of, there was bombing runs by the Japanese before they landed in Singapore. So I think it's very likely that happened. And only film buffs will know . We have a filmmaker, director, Royston Tan, who actually helped in the production of an Australian war film. They shot on location in Bukit Brown. So I think his production house assisted, because Australian production so they needed a Singapore contact. So I think they helped, and then they shot on location in Bukit Brown. I think the story was quite interesting. It was about this Australian soldier who met with a Chinese soldier who is like a rebel, like rebel forces fighting against the Japanese. And then there was like some drama. It was a drama film .
Okay.
I don't know if the film is available. I forgot the name, but I remember seeing the behind the scenes, which I thought was pretty cool.
So, considering the fact that we've shot in Bukit Brown before, what you're saying is you're on the same level as Royston Tan.
No. Nowhere near. The guy's legend. No. That's not what I'm saying. But I think, I think the interesting thing is that some people still remember that era. The era of that area. And I mean, when we were shooting Incredible Tales there, we actually saw a lot of people jogging. Yeah. Which is very weird.
Can you imagine if you've gone through World War II and then you find out one of these places which is such a, I don't want to say dark past, but such a heavy history to it. And then you find out people are jogging and walking the dog,
Yeah. I honestly, I see it as a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's progress.
That's true.
I mean, it shouldn't be forgotten.
No.
Singapore is very good at not forgetting the atrocities that were done to us during World War II, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But it means that, the next generation, okay I get it this is a really terrible place. Something happened there. But I mean, now I am using it as a different space. Yeah. It shows that, space is something that is attached to memories, and
Yeah.
memories are attached to people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's important for us to talk about all this so that it doesn't go. The memory of the place is still around. You still remember, okay, this place is like that, but now it's like a mall or something. You know,
We're only 5 minutes into this episode. And already we've got these deep philosophical. You know it's going to be a good episode. 5 minutes. We're only addressing like user comments now.
I like how he straight away say his own show good. It's not even a comment. He himself say it good.
We're confident people, okay? But yeah, I mean, Rick Sanchez, he continues to say like this could be why some may feel an oppressive aura to the area, as well as the presence of vengeful spirits, which thankfully we didn't encounter.
I like how your voice broke a little bit. I don't know if it's vengeful, but if you've seen the spin-off of Incredible Tales where we did 2 Walk of Courage, which is almost a full-blown episode. My walk with Nakia from True Horror POV wasn't that good lah. In a sense whereby she actually saw something and I felt something. So essentially it was a pocong that was behind us. And she told me after the fact that it was a pocong that was guarding one of the tombs, which is very strange because it's a predominantly Chinese cemetery. So I don't know. Maybe, some cross-cultural thing happened. I don't know. But it's cool. But creepy, yes.
Not vengeful, that's the important part. Also, we're a multiracial society. We all our cultures like blend with each other. And you've seen us during National Day.
I honestly, I don't want to see a pocong guarding a grave. This is just creepy as hell.
To be fair, that would be quite okay. I don't want to see it also, but that would be quite interesting if you find out spirits and like creatures from a different race are now like protecting
working with each other.
Yeah. I mean, we laugh, but also it'd be quite interesting.
How they pay, yeah. The currency different.
Maybe they got exchange rate or what?
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, okay, is there a different exchange rate between like hell notes and like normal money down here?
Yeah,
no, there is.
It's like maybe it's the price of the hell note lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so, I guess that's the exchange rate.
So like hell. I swear I'm not making light of this, but hell notes and Singapore money is the same as like Singapore and Brunei money. Exchange rate exactly the same, right?
No.
Wait, you said it's the price of the hell notes, what?
Yeah, no. As in like it's the price. So like for example, $10 you can buy like 10 million.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to make people pissed off by stating a certain currency lah, but like
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, but obviously you can get a lot of mileage through buying hell notes lah. And somebody told me that if you can buy so much hell note, won't there be inflation because like economics? But whatever.
I know where you're going through this. I know where you're going with this.
I'm not going to say
it. Like, I think us joking about spirits is already dangerous enough. You do this, it's even worse.
Yes.
All right. Before Kyle gets to those jokes, moving on. Sleeping
Ninja.
Oh,
Sleeping Ninja Quiet Time.
Sleeping Ninja Quiet Time. What's funny is when we were doing this, right, when we were putting the comments on here, right, I made a point to note like, Sleeping Ninja Quiet Time, and I still forgot.
Yep.
Yes. Sleeping Ninja Quiet Time said, property agent ghost stories would be awesome.
Akan datang. Yeah.
You know a guy?
I know a few.
Of course you know a guy.
But you need to get them to warm up lah. But I think can. I know there's a guy on TikTok who tells ghost stories, which is very strange because if you do that, it might tarnish your brand. I don't know. Maybe it helps. I don't know. I mean, Taufik Batista is a property agent, so like.
But to be fair, he doesn't tell ghost stories.
Nah, but if you want to tell ghost stories, right, come here. We tell with you. I won't review the unit, but we tell with you. Confirm got haunted unit one. Confirm. Paris Mayet Realm 1910. I hope you're not that old. I don't think you're that old.
Okay, you know who you are, so you know who. Okay,
I'm just gonna call you Paris. Paris, huh?
I thought you were just gonna call you Perry. I was like, it was so classy.
No. Paris. I was warded at Old Changi Hospital in 1989, but didn't experience anything. In fact, during the 1980s, one of the Ferry Point bungalows was the famed haunted place. My graduating class stayed there. Yup, it's haunted. It is haunted. I think we did a class chalet, and one of my classmates actually got possessed. So basically she went to sleep in one of the rooms with her boyfriend. And then I think the rest of us were still partying. We partied until like 4, 5 a.m. So at 2 a.m. she came out. I remember like I was standing in front of the bungalow, just waiting lah. Then she came up to me. She's like, I need to go. I'm like, you go where? I need to go towards the sea. They're asking for me. They're calling for me. Because Changi, right, they have the broadwalk. She climbed over the broad, and this is low tide lah. Then she jumped down towards the sand. I was like, what the fuck? Then I jumped down and I hold on to her and say, hey, don't go. She said, no, they're calling for me. I'm like, what? Who calling for you, sia? Then after that, I called the boyfriend and I said, you bring her back, go sleep. I think she kena already. I don't know what happened after that. Because now my tai chi. But I was like, I was there. If I wasn't there, she would have went into the sea because nobody was there.
I was just about to ask you, because I've heard the story before. I was about to ask you whether you knew what happened. Does she even remember any of this?
She don't. The next day I asked her, do you remember what happened? She said, no. I just dreamt that there were a lot of people asking me to go somewhere and I cannot remember what happened. Then I was like, bro. But this woman, I think she got brushes with the spiritual world one. So like she will kena one sometimes. So I don't know what's with her lah. Yeah. So I hope you're doing better now.
I mean, if you have a few voices calling out to you, that's not like a beginner.
But it was
level.
in a dream.
But
then it manifested. So like,
yeah.
So I think she was like semi there already, going to get possessed. Then somehow I was there lah. Yeah. So
if she had said like, oh, he or she is calling out to me, then that's one thing. They. That's why.
And she was telling me in Mandarin, 他们叫我了, they are calling for me. They are calling. Wow. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Last time I a bit more. I don't care lah. I would say, I'm very disrespectful to those things lah. So
I mean,
maybe that filled my like, whatever lah. Like,
I mean,
but now I will be a bit more careful. But I will still help lah.
Correct, exactly. I was about to say, it's not like you wouldn't have helped anyway. It's like, she got ghost, I don't want to touch her.
Yeah.
Let her walk into the ocean.
So fairy point is that.
So, as Kyle said, if you read the title, you know what this episode's about. We are back on the road, not literally, with more highway horror stories. Like before, we'll be looking at Asian highways. Not just highways though, we will also be looking at roads and streets, which are the setting of supernatural or creepy accounts. This time, so I mix things up a little bit. One of them will be from outside of Asia. It is, I guess it's a weird one, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
Yes. All right. I'll start first.
Let's go.
Yes, because I know you got a few favorites.
Yeah, I've got a few favorites. Yeah.
So I'll start first. We're starting in Indonesia. Okay. So there's a tunnel in East Jakarta called Casablanca Tunnel. Casablanca Tunnel is believed to have once been a mass grave. When the graves were being moved at Casablanca Tunnel to build this underpass, workers supposedly found a body that had not decomposed. So, buried, everything, no decomposition, looks like anybody else. After the tunnel was built, many motorists believed that the souls of the dead would still reside along the tunnel. It wouldn't be Indonesia without a Kakpi sighting though. So drivers have claimed that they've seen a Kak in Casablanca Tunnel waving at them. Very nice, very friendly. What's particularly interesting is that she's described, it's kind of like your usual Kakpi, but also there's some differences. So she's described as an old woman. The biggest difference is that one of her eyes is hanging out of the socket. So the legend goes that this Kakpi was sexually assaulted and killed by criminals in this area long before the underpass was built, and she's still waiting to get revenge. Don't stop there. Apparently, she's not the only Kak that's associated with this tunnel. So there's a film, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this. I tried to check pronunciation. I think I got it, but as we've seen in previous episodes, I'm not very good in pronunciation. So there's a film called, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, Terowongan Casablanca. The plot involves a woman that was lured into the tunnel in the 70s, where her boyfriend tried to force her to have an abortion. When she tries to escape, her boyfriend buries her alive with her unborn child. So she returns as a Kakpi to seek revenge, but the plot was very loosely based on another urban legend of the tunnel. Supposedly, what you're supposed to do when you drive through the tunnel to prevent yourself from getting these encounters with our dear Kak is to sound your horn. So just beep, beep, which to me sounds like an excuse to just wet your horn lah. But sound your horn as you're driving through the tunnel. That way you avoid any unwanted incidents.
Yeah, I think there's three stories, right? One which is the
There's the two kapis. There's
the body lah. There's not decomposed. The not decomposed body is it related to the kapi story or is
no, it's not. It's when they were digging through the graves and then they found the decomposed.
Wait, there were graves?
Well, that's the thing. So it's believed to have once been a mass grave.
Oh.
I don't know how factually true that is. Okay? So again, it's very difficult to verify these kind of things because of the language barrier. But based on a couple of sites I visited, so that's my caveat. Based on a couple of sites we visited, it says that there were mass graves down there before.
This was because of the war or because of what?
They didn't say it. They just said mass graves. So mass graves, and when they were exhuming the graves, one of the corpses happened to have been just
in pristine condition.
Yeah.
In Chinese context, that's never a good thing.
Well, I think in any context, that's never a good thing.
Yeah. Because
what does it mean?
I mean, if you really believe in the whole idea of vampires, that's a vampire lah.
Yeah,
because the body never disintegrate, right? Because there's a last chi inside the body that then you will turn into a vampire lah. It will slowly turn into a vampire if you don't get rid of the body. At least that's how like a lot of the plots for Mr. Vampire goes lah.
Is that why you were asking whether it was related to the Kapi story?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
But Kapi it can be a vampire, but it also can be an entity. By entity I mean like a spirit lah.
Yeah.
Vampire is a bit more physical.
Yeah.
Right? You can even say that it's a transformation of a human.
Yeah, I think very loose definitions lah, but I feel like Kapi is a little bit more spirit and vampire is a little bit more creature lah.
Yeah. Creature, that's the word. Yeah, creature. Yeah, but that's creepy. I think if you were to go to the scientific road on that, right, I think maybe just the right conditions that manage to encase the like how like they found like a body of one of the very early humans in the Ice Age, during the Ice Age, and it's like not in perfect condition, but it's like you cannot believe it's thousands of years old. Like it's you can still see everything.
Yeah, I mean obviously this is not an Ice Age thing, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, right. Sometimes the condition is right, then it might happen. But I mean, it's creepy.
It is creepy.
There are a lot of tunnels, right, in the world that used to be graves. I know that there's one in Japan. I think Tokyo. Is this underpass, but on top of it is a cemetery. Because they cannot get rid of the cemetery. So they built I don't know if they managed to, I don't know if they disturb the graves. Because when you bury deep, right? Then you want to dig through a tunnel. You're going underneath what is buried there.
But wouldn't they... I mean, I don't know lah.
Of course, there were a lot of sightings also lah. But
wouldn't they exhume the graves before...
No, but maybe the way they do things is, I want to keep the heritage. So what I'm going to do, I build an underpass underneath the cemetery so I don't disturb the cemetery. Instead of like moving them. Because maybe that one very, very long already.
That's actually... It's a very strange thing for me to say, but I think that's actually a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Particularly if they don't actually disturb the graves lah. I mean, if like...
Well, I mean if you have cars zooming past...
Yeah lah, you have a bit... Yeah lah, fair enough lah, but like...
But it's a compromise I would say. Right?
Yeah.
Instead of just moving it.
Maybe they put like the sound absorbing cushion or what in between the graves.
I mean, that's what Singapore did, right? The highway, boom.
Yeah. No, but see,
through.
that's what I mean. The last time when we were talking about this, we were like, this just, I mean, progress and everything, but also like, it's a heritage site, and then you're just building a highway through.
Can you call like I mean, I kind of found the word lah, but can you call like cemetery gentrified? Cemetery gentrified. You gentrify the cemetery with development.
Only if like you got the graves there in the middle of them, you got like a Starbucks.
Or desecration.
Well, if you're building a Starbucks and a grave, that's definitely desecration. But yeah, I do know what you mean. Gentrify the graves. Weirdly enough, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I mean the Cut P one, that one is, I mean, it's quite common now. It sucks that it's so common. Even Singapore have this kind of story also.
It's Indonesia, a place where they literally have a city called Pontianak.
Oh yeah.
So
that's the source, right?
I mean, I don't know whether it's a source, but okay. So if I'm remembering the legend right, it was named that because it was filled with them. I don't know whether...
Yeah, then there was a fight, like there was a war, then they got rid of it, and then they had to establish like a religious site so that they can... Yeah.
Which sounds like a very good cover for a bunch of guys going around there and killing a whole bunch of women. I'm just saying, it sounds a little bit suspicious. But the legend goes that that's what happened.
Yeah, that's the source.
It was a place filled with kapis.
Why don't they just call it the Indonesian name, Kuntilanak? Interesting, right?
Maybe they wanted to, have a bit more global appeal.
Right?
Everybody, and that's the weird thing. Like everybody knows. Well, I say everybody lah, but more people know Pontianak than Kuntilanak. So
yeah.
I mean, when you're doing your ghost stories, I guess you want a bit of branding also lah.
Yeah. So essentially, I would say that one can say that tunnel has Pontianak sightings. And that tunnel. Is the tunnel very long?
I can't remember the exact. It's quite. I mean, it's not like crazy long like some of the other highways that we're going to be looking at, but it is an underpass lah, so it's lengthy enough lah. Lengthy enough that you're going to get sightings on there lah.
Oh, no, I'm looking at it. Not bad lah. Look a little bit like MCE.
I thought you said MCU for a second. I was like,
no, MCE.
Got a bit confused.
MCE, Marina Coastal Expressway, Singapore.
Yeah. What's the length? I can't remember what the length was.
I don't know. I was just looking at photos. Not like very very long lah, but there's some length lah. Yeah. Interesting.
What's interesting to me is that the idea of seeing kapi in a tunnel, right, doesn't feel very Singaporean.
Yeah, Singapore trees on.
No, but like since we bring out MCE, like you don't expect to see a kapi at MCE, right? Yeah, but that's the thing, like in tunnels in like say Indonesia, maybe Malaysia as well, like that feels more likely.
Yeah, because I think I would say Indonesia and Malaysia, they are far larger than Singapore.
Yeah.
So to be to grow up in a kampong or like be close to nature is very likely that it will happen. Whereas Singapore, we're very metropolitan, right? We don't have forests.
We don't have
kampong.
Yeah, we've got at least 2 generations of HDB already.
It's the fear of the unknown. Yeah. So for us, right, forest is
correct
foreign.
Yeah.
Then we're like, oh, scary, going forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's why we got camps. Then we go forest. Then we try to scare the shit out of each other. Yeah. Whereas Indonesian and Malaysian, they probably grew up with it. So they're like, what's scary? Yeah. What's scary? Like for us, 2 grown men scared of chichaks. Because fear of the unknown, right? But if you grew up in a household where like chicha is everywhere, like, whatever lah, this one. So I would say that that's the difference.
I wish chichaks were more unknown to me. I really do.
So we are gentrified to the point where
we're scared of chichaks.
We're scared of the forest.
I'm telling you, all our viewers from like Indonesia and Malaysia are watching this going, these guys and their bloody lizards. I don't understand them.
So I would think that it will be a very interesting. It's an interesting observation because in Malaysia, some of the Malaysian folklore also happen in the city or on the roads but not really in the forest. But whereas more Singaporean is like a lot of the times is up in the trees, in the forest.
In the parts that are not familiar to us lah.
So it's natural fear lah.
That makes sense.
Interesting. Okay, this one I told Wayne before we recorded I want to do this and another one because this is part of my culture. Thailand. So there is a similar legend in Chak Phra Road in Bangkok around the Taling Chan floating market area, which is outskirts of central Bangkok. You need to travel a little bit out. It's not like near Chatuchak or anywhere. It's like outwards. So the floating markets, Thailand has a lot of floating markets where it's the river, then you have like things that you can buy in the mornings. So in the 70s, a husband supposedly murdered his pregnant wife. Again, what's with men killing women and turning them into ghosts? Along this road, and then it is said that her spirit still haunts the road, particularly near the area of Wat Taling Chan temple, which is the area's temple lah. Wat is temple lah in Thai. Some cabbies and tuk-tuk drivers claim to have seen a woman, which is her lah. She have a name lah. I'm not gonna say the name lah. In case she come along the road, only for the woman to suddenly vanish. It's like the White Lady of Balate Drive from Philippines.
Yes,
exactly the same thing. Others have seen a woman hanging upside down from a tree. This is why a lot of drivers steer clear of the road at night. To be honest, right, Thai people are very spiritual and quite superstitious also lah. So they would definitely avoid the area if I know lah. Yeah. I know this from first-hand experience because my relatives, they also told me and my dad when we were at the Thai family house. They were like, "Hey, you all don't want to sleep ah?" I was like, "Bro, it's like 9 p.m. Sleep what? P is ghost." And he will say something about ghosts lah, like you don't sleep early, later the ghosts come. I was like, fuck lah, we don't believe in ghosts lah. No lah, that's what my dad said lah. But I was more like, oh okay. But for us, it's like we Singaporeans we function till 11, 12. You know, like by the time we eat dinner, it's 9 p.m. already. Where got time, bro? Just chilling, drink beer. Then they okay lah. You're not scared. Then we drink more. Yeah, but so apparently, like they do believe in like at night, right? The activity for spirits are much higher. So people who stay in the villages near the mountains, they tend to sleep very early to avoid that. And that is the case with Chinese families also. My grandmother used to tell me that in the kampongs that they stayed, they also sleep very early for fear of spirits also.
Right.
I mean, it could be an old wives' tale. You don't sleep, later the hantu get you.
No, probably.
Like for mine, it's like if you don't sleep, later you're gonna kidnapped by the uncle. Right? Yeah. Then you scared, then you sleep. Which is a bit screwed up lah, like trauma lah.
It's kind of similar to the whole idea of you cannot hang clothes out at night. If not, the Kakpi will come and find you.
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of just go sleep early lah. Why you so okay?
It's fear lah. So anyway, there's another version. According to the confirmation, this is from Wikipedia by the way. According to the confirmation of a man who experienced this event directly, he said that this happened in 1975. There's a deceased woman whose name I will not say. Said that the person was his sister-in-law. So she died from being shot by the husband because of the misconception that she pestered a fishing cat in the daybreak, and then she just died. I think that is a bit crazy to shoot your own wife over something, even though like, you know, that animal is like maybe some religious animal of your religion or something. I think that's over, but it's a story lah. Then they also believe that the boat belonged to that family, and because he has this boat, right, and then he dedicates it to the area, right, it is a haunted boat. So you know, like because it's a floating market, right, so that boat is sometimes still operated.
Wait, so okay, a fishing cat, is that supposed to
it's
be
a cat? I don't know.
Yeah. So is it, if a cat is fishing, is there, so there's no
a specific breed of cat that fishes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it looks mixed lah. It doesn't look like your normal domestic cat or your feral cat.
And are these like revered, or they apparently got spirits?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It could be that cat is from that temple lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, you know how
certain
temple they have like an animal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or like there's two theories. Basically, the husband either shot her because of the cat, or like the cat gave her some curse, then she died.
Right.
So that's the theory. So apparently the murder itself really happened, but I mean, because it's in Thai, right? So it's very hard for us to confirm this. If you guys can verify the report, if there's any friends from Thailand or who knows of that thing, let us know. But it's interesting because there's three stories essentially. One is cause, you know, murdered pregnant wife. Two is murdered wife because of a cat. Third is the cat cursed the woman, then she died. 3. Yeah.
I honestly can believe, right, that a man, I mean, it's dark lah, but I can honestly believe a man snapshot his wife and literally blamed it on a cat. Like it's the
I mean, in 70s,
yeah,
Bangkok is very different. Very different. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even like 70s Bangkok is different. It's the whole like, oh, I killed my wife, but I blame the devil kind of thing. So this guy just happened to blame the cat.
Yeah. I'm not surprised lah. You see, it's a joke, but like it's supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
You need female ghosts, then you go and find those screwed up husbands, screwed up men. They go and commit all these atrocious crime to women. Then they come back as spirits lah. And then you wonder why.
Who's the one pushing the demand for female ghosts?
I don't know. something even more evil, I guess.
Like that entity needs to stop. Okay, like
or just it's a cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
You need good and evil, so therefore there will be evil, right?
I know our channel is called HANTU, but we're okay with there being fewer ghosts if it means less people dying from these horrible instances.
Yeah. I mean a bit more balanced. I say if you believe in there's good, right, then there will definitely be evil.
Yeah.
So it's very hard you can't explain why people do evil things.
Yeah.
Some people are just evil. Then they just do evil things, oh.
Yeah.
Then you need the bigger evil to go and beat this evil, oh. Right? You can't for a fact to say that like a vengeful spirit is not evil. It is evil.
It is evil.
But what's the rationale for it, right?
I mean, okay, I feel like there's evil in the completely malicious sense, but there's also evil in the I've come seeking revenge. So it's the understandable kind of evil.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Fair enough. If
Vengeance,
if this piece of shit killed you, you want to come back for vengeance, I absolutely get it.
Yeah. No, I think yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So apparently the murder happened. Then if you all got the story, then just let us know.
Yeah, we ran into this problem several times while we were doing this episode, and to be fair, previous episodes as well, where we tried to verify certain things, and then we'll all the sources are in like Thai or Indonesian, and yes, there's Google Translate, but doesn't really get across the full picture.
Yeah.
So,
but I also like that there's some sense of mystery towards it.
Yeah.
So it makes the story a little bit more fun.
I love those that have that like small little kernel.
Because you don't know, don't know like, hey, later I go this area, it's like, wow, maybe this place. But one more place for me to visit in Bangkok lah. But it's like, wow, maybe this place got ghosts, yeah. I mean, it adds to the aura. Like when we did the Ghost Nest episode of Chiang Rai, that was my mom's story. The one where there's an abandoned temple, then there's ghosts there. That's my mom. My mom's story. So she went to try to get mango, then she kena lah. She saw the ghost lah. So I walked past the temple, really got the chills. It's quite creepy. It's right next to the Mekong River. It's like, geez. And then knowing that story adds to the flavor, ma. Then you're like, wow, you don't know if it's real, but you kind of know that it's real. Then you're like, wow, shooks, yeah.
It's not exactly dark tourism lah.
It is.
No lah, it's not like you're looking like for corpses or anything. You just happen to walk by a temple.
No, but dark tourism is such a wide spectrum.
That's true.
You go Chechnya, you go Pripyat, is dark tourism,
That's fair.
But there's no ghosts, what?
No, but then like this place is like more for the ghost than the place itself. So it's more like HANTU tourism.
Oh, HANTU.
HANTurism.
HANTurism.
Chan Brothers, if you want to do partnership.
What's Chan Brothers?
Look how old I am. Chan Brothers is the one I know.
HANTurism, trademark pending. All right. This one's yours, right?
You sure you don't want to do this one? Still Bangkok?
Okay, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, sticking with Bangkok. Here's a slightly different story. In 2016, there is a photojournalist with a recorded car footage with real play of a ghostly girl sitting on the boot of a moving car. I seen this. And then when I read the research, I was like, I've seen this video actually. It's very low res, but obviously there's someone sitting on there. Yeah. At first glance, she looks really creepy. Like, can you imagine a moving car? There's someone just sitting behind.
And it's very casual.
And just chilling.
Yeah.
Even with a black and white strippy top, she has long hair, and in the video it looks very pale. It could be the color of the shitty video.
It is
but at the same time, you do you lah. Oh.
Yeah lah.
So according to the UK tabloid Daily Express, the girl does not move on the car, sitting relaxed until she spots that she's being filmed, and then she points towards the camera, which is creepy lah.
Yeah.
However, the woman apparently submitted to questioning by the police, and was fined Thai baht $500. But they did not release the woman's name. So it could be a real person or a cover up. But then again, if the police actually fined her $500, then she must be alive, what?
But that's the thing. That's what they told us.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I am insinuating that the police covered up the fact that they saw a ghost on the car lah. But
Okay, so let's put it to a vote right now. Even in the comments, let us know.
Yes.
Story 3, Thailand, Bangkok, right? You tell us whether if it's a cover up or not.
I mean,
you think it's a cover up?
Weirdly enough, okay, I don't know whether I think it's a cover up. I like to believe it's a cover up. I think the fact that they don't release her name, because you look at the video, I mean, it's grainy, but I don't think she's a minor. So if you tell me like she's under 18 or what, then I don't want to release the name. I get that, but she doesn't look like she's under 18. And I like the idea that the police like, okay, we cannot have people freaking out because we have footage of a ghost. So let's just say that we find her. And then they just like cover it up. I will say that while I was reading the article, the Daily, what was the newspaper called? The Daily Express. They said in Thailand, belief in ghosts is so strong. And I was like, yeah, because Southeast Asian ghosts much cooler. That's why it's so strong.
You have Headless Horseman, bro.
Yeah.
My poltergeist. Oh no.
They moved the cup in your house. Oh no.
Yeah. So for me, I will take it a little bit different approach. I think it's an actual human. But possibly the person is being possessed. And she is orang yang power, means that she got money on this person. So there is efforts of being covered up, so that to protect her identity. Could be a star, could be someone of influence, somebody's daughter with influence, and that's quite common in Thailand. So I believe that she is possessed and sitting on the back of the booth, and they are trying to get her to somewhere safe lah. So and it's common. And when I watched it, as someone who have seen possession, it does look like a case of possession. Yeah.
Can I just say, I was so worried that I was going to be the one that came up with a weird conspiracy theory, and then you would have gone the other direction for a change. I was like, not disappointed at all.
Yeah, I'm
your
like,
conspiracy theory much higher than mine.
I'm like, wow, piang, it's like, because for it to just 500 baht is like,
yeah, that's why.
Not a lot of money, to be honest.
I literally had to double check that that's the amount that you find her. I was like, 500 baht, really?
Yeah. It seems like just for record lah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think it's possibly possession, then like that lor. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go very logical, probably on drugs. Yeah.
I figured but even then also if you're on drugs, right? Like how are you, because if you watch the video, it's not like the car is moving very slowly. It's not like speeding down the highway, but it's moving fast enough where like nobody can be that relaxed. Even if you're sober, nobody can be that relaxed on the back of a moving
But maybe she's on some heavy stuff, Who knows?
Could be.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, it could be her sense of reality is gone already at that point.
Yeah.
It could be both. On drugs and possessed. People like the saying is like when you consume alcohol you're drunk, you're more easily. Right. Yeah, it could apply for drugs also. Yeah. So I think it's quite screwed up that they never really released the name. I'm very curious.
I know, right? I was hesitant to include this one. Then I saw that little tidbit down there, they never released the name. I was like, but why?
Yeah, tell us why.
Like if this got my conspiracy brain going, I was like, Carl's conspiracy brain confirm going to go haywire on, and you did not disappoint.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah. Now we shall move out of Thailand.
Yeah.
We'll look at two highways in India. And we're looking at these two highways because they've got similar supernatural stories. So the first one is the NH4. This is National Highway 4. So before it became part of NH48 in 2010, and this is after all of India's national highways were renumbered, NH4 had already linked 4 of the country's 10 most popular cities. So it's Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, and Chennai. So drivers had been known to encounter a pretty girl. This is the actual definition. When you go on different sites, they all like, oh, it's a pretty girl, along the highway asking for a lift. It's like the ghost along Chakfra Road in Bangkok. She would vanish when they stopped for her, but would reappear later on. And in this case, they will haunt you with a hysterical laugh. So I suppose when you're driving, the way to describe it, I suppose, is when you're driving, you can still hear the laughter. Yeah. So another version of this is that after she vanishes, she'll reappear in front of your car. So you're driving, and it seems like the road is clear, but then she'll reappear in front of your car, and then possibly forcing you to swerve out of the way and then causing accidents. So this is actually similar to a story about Airport Road in Dhaka along NH3, where drivers will encounter a ghostly woman in white just suddenly and out of nowhere just materializing road. So
Jeez.
it's not like they stop for her, then she suddenly reappear later on. It's just out of nowhere, she just materializes on the road. And then like the woman will then speed towards them, like just basically playing chicken with your car lah. The term that they used was unearthly swiftness. So I'm not trying to make light of ghosts here, but I guess you could say fast and furious.
I knew that was coming.
So the legend goes that this woman and her family were victims of an accident and that an evil spirit took over her ghost, compelling her to scare other people to a similar fate. That's the thing I found very interesting. It's the idea that like the ghost was overpowered by another evil entity.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, because I rarely hear stories like that. It's always the ghost herself is looking for vengeance, or you know, she happens to be a for lack of a better term, friendly ghost, but she happens to be there lah. I've very rarely heard about like people's ghosts getting taken over by spirits.
I think it does happen. I have not heard of any stories of that, but I think I've talked to some mediums and spiritual master. They do say that they sometimes do send spirits to attack spirits.
Oh,
yeah. So like they will take control of these spirits and use them as their tool lah. But of course, there's a sense of danger lah. If they turn on you, then but they use them to do exorcism. Possible. It's highly possible.
So you send the bigger spirit to get the other spirit out of the body.
Or hauntings lah.
Oh,
Yeah, like cleanse the house lah.
Is
you see, you're fighting fire with fire lah.
Is it like what's the term? King Ghost or Ghost King?
Yeah, if you can, I do know of some spiritual masters that manage to control certain ghost kings, which is very dangerous.
Yeah,
extremely dangerous.
I mean, just generally controlling a ghost already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would imagine like this story would be like the ghost king of that area, to control. So kind of like a demon really lah.
Yeah.
To control of other spirits or consume them.
What? As in like
They can consume the spirit, you know.
like they eat the spirits.
Yeah. And take the essence and then become even stronger. So that's why certain haunted area, right, there will always be a few ghost king, a few ones that are the top dogs lah, essentially. Yeah. Like horror, like supernatural investigators, they tend to go to this location. Then some of them they can see and say, oh yeah, that one the king, that one is there waiting. So they can negotiate also. So it's very, very, very there's hierarchy one even in that world. I'm not surprised, and I think it's a fresh take. It's not as depressing when you know, for the past 3 stories, it's all sexual assault, kill the woman.
Yeah.
Now this one is the ghost lah. I mean, I hope that the ghost king is not a man lah. Then it's still quite bad lah.
Then it's the same thing, just like taken into the spirit world.
Yeah,
It's like, voila.
That's screwed up lah. But yeah, I think I don't know, because they changed it to National Highway number 4. Right? There's no like, it's not like Mount Pleasant Road where it's like there's a name, so it's a little bit more. This one feels a little bit more clinical in my sense.
And it was okay. So apparently, National Highway 4, from what I remember reading, it eventually it became a part of National Highway 48. So like, I mean, it seems like haha, kind of a joke kind of thing, but I think it's, if I remember right, they combined National Highway 8 and National Highway 4, and I think like it's
48.
Yeah, 48 lah. So it's still, yes, it's still clinical and everything lah, but like it almost feels like, this big space, the idea of like all of it almost feels like more likely to happen that something's gonna be there because it's such a huge stretch.
Yeah. I think it's very big, right? That whole area.
Yeah. Oh, it's literally like hundreds of kilometers.
I mean, it will be interesting to find out, right? Like if we have any friends from India, to find out if it's a specific section of the highway that has this, or is it the entirety? So like, if you are like a, I don't know, like a truck delivery driver, you drive the whole road. then there's a chance that you will meet them anywhere. Wow, no, that's screwed up.
Yeah,
because
because
that means the ghost damn power.
I know, because the second one is not like the second one. That one is Airport Road at Dhaka. So at least that one's confined to one part of the highway. But like the NH4 ones, like I couldn't, at least from what we saw, it's not a specific part of the highway, which is like, yeah, then really gonna drive down that long stretch of road, right? Like your backside clenched up the whole time, like come on, just keep going. Yeah, but yes, I definitely do agree because we've had ghost map stories set in India before. But if we can get more stories, if any of y'all out there have had experiences along NH48 now, I guess, you know, leave comments.
You know who to call, huh?
Yeah, HANTU.sg, the contact form down there. Just let us know. Social media also can contact us. Always looking for new Ghost Maps episodes.
So moving forward,
Yeah.
this is my
This is the other one you
favorite
wanted.
city.
Yes.
One of my favorite cities in the world, Hong Kong. There are a high number of car accidents in this area called Tui Mun. Tui Mun is essentially in the new territories of Hong Kong. So you know, you go Hong Kong, right? There's the two island, Hong Kong Island, which is the Causeway Bay, and you go to Kowloon Island, which is like the Tsim Sha Tsui. It's all the shopping place. Then behind that is new territories. Then behind new territories is Shenzhen, China already, right? So new territories is a little bit more undeveloped. A lot of the kampongs still there. There's a lot of the summer homes of the ultra rich are there also. So it's a big plot of space, much bigger than the two islands combined.
Okay.
So Tui Mun is like a area where they try to develop high-rise estates also.
Right.
There are.
Okay.
So and it's very far off. So I like to call it the Pongo of Hong Kong. And I've been there before. Great food, but sibei far. Sibei far. You need to take a car. It's like 40 minutes. You take a train, an hour.
Just to establish us as Singaporeans, what was the best thing you ate on there?
Sioba.
Oh.
The best food was sioba, roasted pork with mustard. Damn good. But anyway, like the stories from India, locals have blamed the accidents there, right, on ghosts that suddenly appear in the middle of the road and force drivers to swerve and crash. Then unlike India, this is not just one ghost. It's like if every fatality, like because Chinese, right, we believe in the idea of la jiao ti, which is like you take a replacement. With every fatality, a new ghost join them, join the lost souls on the road. And apparently some people say that you need to take 3 souls before you can so technically if you do the math, right, the ghost size increases.
Right.
Because you need 3 then you can move on.
I'm trying not to but also the first thing that came to my mind is so like ghostly pyramid scheme.
Yeah, pretty much. So because Hong Kong's geography is hilly, then a little bit mountainous, so there's a lot of mudslides.
Right.
And once mudslides happen, and they do kill. And Hong Kong also experienced a lot of typhoon. So that in and of itself, I'm sure there's a lot of accidents.
Yeah.
And especially in that area, right, it's a little bit more countryside, so help may not be as fast as in the city.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that, you know, things like that happen. And of course, Hong Kong went through colonialism, went through the Japanese occupation as well. So there's definitely some form of war and battlefront at that area. So I'm not surprised that there. And on the top of that, it is where in our previous episode where we talk about schools, right? It's one of the most haunted schools in the world. There is the Tak Tak School. It's also in the New Territories near Tui Mun. So just to refresh, Tak Tak is an abandoned school located in New Territories, Hong Kong, near Tui Mun, where legend says that students and teachers were murdered in the school grounds and their spirits still haunt that building to that day. And people have actually shot there and did a show about it also. And visitors have reported hearing strange noise and feeling of eerie presence in that abandoned school . So it's in the area kind of like Pongo / Changi, I don't know.
By the way, Scary Schools Volume 2, if you want it, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So continuing, right, the legend of Tui Mun Road is one of the most well-known ghost stories in Hong Kong. It is said that a group of construction workers were killed while building that particular road and their bodies were buried beneath it. Since then, drivers have reported seeing ghostly apparition along the roads as well as experiencing car malfunctions and other strange occurrences. This one, there's no like proper proof or anything, but like I said, given the historical element of it, not impossible. And it has been depicted in Hong Kong films before. So there is this series that I always mention is The Troublesome Night, Yin Yang Lu. So you watch the first, second, third, the rest don't bother. It goes up to 10.
Mini film review down here.
Yeah, the first, second, third are really, really nice. There was one story where it's basically lost in time. Where the husband and the wife, they going to this area to meet for like the anniversary dinner, but the husband just somehow cannot get there. Then it is revealed that he died and his soul is trapped in that area. So
he doesn't know that he's dead.
Much like the car trapped underneath, he died. Yeah. So he didn't realize that he actually became a spirit already. Then eventually the wife found out that he died. So I believe it's shot in new territories because countryside, the way it is, like a lot of forest, then the winding roads, quiet, rain. Wow, it's really perfect scene for horror film. Yeah. I've not been there at night. I don't want to go there at night, but of the few times that I've been there, I can see how creepy it would get if you're on that road itself. Yeah.
I just want to see you about it. That's it.
Just take the train, bro.
Okay.
Train got a lot of people. No need to be scared. Yeah. I remember I was like, I was visiting Hong Kong last year, and we went to Tui Mun area to look at some historical places. And I remember we got a Uber driver, and he's an Indian guy, but he's born in Hong Kong, so he speaks very, very fluent Cantonese. He was like saying, "Qixi, you come here, Qixi is crazy lah. You come here from Singapore all the way, you go Tui Mun and see some historical. What's there to see? There's nothing there. Why you want to go until so ulu?" Then he was like ranting. It's like, "Why you come here so ulu?" Hong Kong people, they are very straightforward. They just tell you as it is. So I was like, no lah. We're just going there to see, historical stuff lah. Then it's like, oh, okay. I mean, he made a lot of money from that trip lah.
Fair enough. But also, come on, man. We're from Singapore. Our country, technically, the modern version, 60 years old already,
Nothing much to see.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to see that. So yeah, I do want to explore more about that Tui Mun. I don't know if I want to go Tak school, but around the area also got tombs. So people are buried there. Ancestral tombs also. So in addition to Tui Mun Road and Tak School's legend, right, there are other popular legends from Hong Kong, including the tale of a bride who was buried alive in a wedding gown. The ghost of a woman who drowned herself in the river, and then the legend of the hungry ghost, which is like quite common in Chinese communities. But the buried alive in the gown, right, I think there's some substantial cases. So right, when in Chinese folklore, right, back in the day when Chinese men, they had like 4-5 wives, right? Quite common, especially well-to-do one. So when they die, right, some of them is extreme. They will bury the wife together with the husband.
Even if the wife is alive?
Yes, against the will. Yeah, it has happened before. I'm not sure if it has happened in Hong Kong, new territories, but Hong Kong's history is rich. Yeah. It's like long time ago, it's already established a lot of Chinese people there. So who knows? It may have happened before also, and it may have happened there also. It's also depicted in films, and it's quite messed up.
Yeah.
And it's like you see the man, right? He's like very old. Then the concubine is like, wow, like in her 20s. Then bo pian kena buried alive because.
I mean, some aspects of that still happen today,
Yeah. So a lot of people, including the authorities, blame that the narrow carriageways of that particular road is the reason for accidents lah. But as with any authorities, if I say got hantu, you confirm won't drive that road anymore one. You confirm scared one. So they have to have a PR answer lah. No lah, this one the road.
I mean,
weather conditions not good lah.
To be fair, both could be true as well. Yeah, there's narrow carriageways, but they not be the only reason that causes people to crash their cars down there as well?
I don't know. I like to believe that there is a check and balance in life and death. In a sense whereby, like, okay, the condition is created, right? If you believe in the higher power, the condition is created by the higher power. And death is also created by the higher power. Therefore, there's a check and balance. Whether if you want or not, your time is up. Then you just go lor. Yeah.
My theory is somewhat similar, which is that ghosts are very adaptable. So they're like, oh yes, these narrow carriageways weren't here before, but since you put that down there, well, you use the tools that you have at your advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, not because this is the one story that's set outside Asia. This story is actually set in America, but you see what I mean about going in a completely different direction in a minute.
It sounds very American.
It's subtly unique. So this is our one highway horror story from outside Asia. This one's in America, specifically a place called Moortown in Vermont, on a road near a stream that's known as the Devil's Washbowl. Now you're really thinking to yourself like, oh, this is gonna sound like really super creepy and everything. You're thinking to yourself like, oh, they're seeing demons and everything. Ha, you're wrong. So even though the place is set in on a road near the Devil's Washbowl, what we're going to be talking about today is the Pigman from Vermont. Which, again, I like to believe that we've planned all of this, but a lot of this is just conversation. So even though we were talking about Siobak before, it is not connected to the Pigman of Vermont. I don't think he might be a fan. Well, he might be a fan of Siobak. We'll see. So again, this one started in the 70s when a farmer first spotted laughing just saying it. First spotted what looked like a pig-human hybrid. Some teenagers coming out from their like high school dance or whatever spotted the Pigman next. But pretty soon, Pigman was sighted along the road near the Devil's Washbowl, an area that has a number of caves. So people soon found that one of these caves was littered with animal bones, including pig bones. So, there's a lot to unpack right here. Okay. First from the top. What do you think?
I think it could be one of those, because it's America, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go with a little bit more logical. Could be a serial killer dressed in a pig's outfit trying to scare people into killing them.
I think it could be... Okay this one a bit more dramatized but like I think it could be somebody who was born with certain disfigurements and made to feel like an outsider and everything, and then just decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. And then he leaves. For all you know, he's probably got like a house somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's just like, leave me alone. I'm tired of dealing with you all. Just because I look one way, all you bastards keep calling me Pigman. Like, that's rude. And then just happen to be people see him and they haven't thought about this guy for a while. They're like, oh my god, it's Pigman. It's like, please stop. So I think the theory is that he's a human pig hybrid. While that sounds interesting and like, believe some mad scientist somewhere is trying to make hybrids of pig and human, I think it's just a guy who, if he is real, is just a guy who's born with a disfigurement and people are very cruel and they call him Pigman.
Wayne has this tendency to sympathize for creatures.
I do.
He loves the story of Frankenstein.
I do.
The ugly looking creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's been more than one episode of Ghost Maps I know where you went, I can't believe you made me feel for the monster.
Yeah. I mean that could be true. But then again, I have watched a movie called The Hills Have Eyes. So, I mean, it's my stance is whether if you're disfigured or not, I'm gonna treat you as a threat if you're a stranger.
Well, that's fair.
Especially in America.
That's fair.
Right? Because there's a lot of serial killers out there. So until you've proven that, I'm a decent person, I'm a decent human being, therefore I should not be a threat, then okay. But I was like digging out on the internet. Apparently it's not real. Apparently.
Oh really?
Apparently.
So they've debunked it?
Not debunked, it's written by this guy. on No Sleep, Reddit. It's called the Pigment of Northfield, which is another name for that place.
Yeah.
Not saying that it could not be real, but I'm saying that the fact that somebody has written like it's like an actual story with like ending and
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah. So it goes way back in 1951.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And of course now got people using generative AI to generate what would be a pigman. It does not look like a pigman, it looks like a Batman.
Congratulations, we found something more hideous than pigman, generative AI.
Yeah, so the pigman of Northfield, Vermont is said to have passed down from the town itself, and of course he's half human, half kids. But at the same time, it is often told as a cautionary tale to young children, warning them not to wander off into the woods alone.
That's a good way to stop
It's the
children.
same how we are. Like, hey, later the uncle kidnap you. You know.
Don't wash your clothes like that.
Fair
enough.
So I guess I mean it's a little bit more extreme lah. But then again, is in a rural. Vermont, I would imagine rural part of America lah, where there's a lot more woods, a lot more land.
It's more closer to nature lah. I guess.
Yeah. But my theory stands is that it is a serial killer, dressed in a pig's face. I mean, serial killers, you don't know what they're thinking, right? Trying to kill people or scare people.
Yeah.
It's like the whole clown thing, what? Cause it's creepy, right? Until you meet someone who has no fear.
This is the point in the episode where Raihan's just gonna turn off. It's like, I wonder what Wayne and Carl are up to. Nope. No, yeah.
There's a lot, dude. Like if you Google, there's a lot. Yeah. There's one
of pigman stories.
There's one image like that.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know, right? They will make very good friends with Along, because they use the pig head. Can you imagine, like, if the Along want to use the pig head, then the pig man is like, hey, that's my friend. Then they have an argument of some sort.
But then also pigman apparently eats pigs.
Dude, does he?
Yeah. Oh, okay. They don't outright say it. They say they found a cave where they think that he's, where he lives, and they found animal bones, including pig bones.
How would you know that it's a pig bone?
I'm sure they. Yeah. Look, at this point, right, they're looking through caves, trying to find a pig man. The fact that they think it's pig bones, right, probably, I guess, fits into the story that they've told. I have to say, right, like, you learn about like all these other like modern myths in America, like the Jersey Devil and everything. Pigman, definitely one of the weirder ones.
Weird is an understatement.
Yes.
There were theories that, because like the human that created the pigman consummated with a pig. So therefore there's a pigman.
That to me is far more disturbing than anything pigman has done.
But well, anything goes, right? Yeah.
Just go on Tinder, man.
No, there's like actual like stories of accounts all the way back in the 1800s now. Like, there's a lot of blogs, right? America loves their urban legend. They really love their urban legend.
So does this mean that pigman's immortal?
It's like Jason, no?
Yeah.
Or it could be like Michael Myers, or
yeah.
It's the spirit of the name survives, but it's a different killer. So apparently there is like what I said serial killer. Not necessarily saying that it's the pigman, but it's in the same area. They call them the Angola butcher. I mean, butcher,
Butcher, pig.
Fair and yeah, see. Came out in the news. 1931.
Okay lah, to be fair, he doesn't look like a pig lah.
Yeah.
I think people might have been harsh. Like, oh, you kill people, well, I think you're ugly, and then like start calling you a pig man.
Yeah, but there's a guy who kind of looks like pigman, but it's just this grew up with disfigurement.
See, exactly, it's a disfigurement. Then like, the poor guy.
No, but he's not the one.
Exactly.
They say that he's not the one. Yeah.
I'm telling you, justice for pigman.
Yeah. I think that there is one person who was disfigured and basically took the blame or took the hate for being disfigured, and then there is an actual pigman out there that's killing people under the guise of a pig. Two separate things. It's just unfortunate.
So there's the poor disfigured guy who
was there at some point in history,
and then that's where the name Pigman came out. But then some serial killer put out a mask and I'm gonna kill people
as a pig,
and then
because serial killer,
he'll get blamed for that.
No, like it just happened. Maybe this guy has some obsession with pigs, right? Like maybe he started killing. You know, they always start small, right? They start killing animals.
Yeah.
And he liked killing pigs. Then he start killing humans. Because some of the organs from pigs are quite similar to human ones. So, yeah. It's pretty sick. I like how in America, when you talk about ghost stories or supernatural stories, it somehow just leads back to true crime, which we are not a big fan of. We don't... I mean, we like listening to them. We don't like to create them. But somehow it just leads back to that because it's America.
I mean...
the land of serial killers and guns.
I mean, Pigman. Eventually, it had to tie back.
Yeah, but let us know. What do you think? Do you think Pigman is real?
Yes.
Is there an explanation for Pigman?
In fact, not just will I ask you, do you think Pigman is real and what's the explanation? What do you think is the weirdest possible explanation? So far, one of the explanations has been a man slept with a pig. Okay? That's the weirdest one so far. You know, they say pig-human hybrid, that could be scientific experimentation. We don't know. What do you think? Do you think like there's a pig demon that has taken the form of a man but then like screwed up halfway through? So instead of becoming a man, he became a pig man? What do you think?
Speaking of pig demon, there is a deity. In the
right. Okay.
Journey to the West,
Okay.
Apparently,
so when he went to the West, he went to America.
But he's not a demon lah. He's a deity. He's an actual deity. Yeah. So he was from the heavens. Even before Monkey King became a god.
Right.
So he outranks Monkey King in a sense. A lot of people don't know this, but this was told to me by some people who are like super into like the mythology and stuff. It's like, did you know that he actually outranks him in terms of the heavenly ranks? And of course their goal is to reach Nirvana lah, go to the West and submit the scriptures and stuff. Then they will attain godlike lah. He got punished because he was doing something bad lah on heaven. That's why he had to send down and go and do the thing again. And then the other one was a water demon. Then Monkey King is a monkey demon or monkey. I'm not very familiar, but someone who had to go through training lah. So yeah. It could be just really, really shitty writing. Oh, I see got Chupache, then I make it for Western audio. I don't know.
Somebody tried to tell the story of Journey to the West to their friends, and then they just kept cocking it up.
America version.
So Pigman was formed.
Yeah.
Suddenly you find out that all the urban legends, like the Jersey Devil, is like some version of some other character that came from like Chinese mythology.
Don't say that to the American audience. They'll be very pissed. They're like, hey, it's your steal our idea. No, we steal your idea.
I mean, it's only when it comes to OpenAI. Topical. At least when we're recording this.
Yeah, but just slight tangent. China's history is far longer than a lot of countries' history. So it's very hard to say. So with every episode, there's always a Pepsi twist, right? This is located in one of the most favorite countries that I love. In Japan, it's called the Old Inunaki Tunnel. This one, if you are a horror lover, you confirm know because Junji Ito did a piece on it also. Basically, the area in Old Inunaki Tunnel has been considered to be haunted because of murders and the nearby area of Inunaki Village. So Inunaki Village is in the area near the Inunaki mountain pass. That's why there's a tunnel because it's through the mountains in Fukuoka. It is said to be easy and small that you will miss it. It's said to be small and easy to miss because it is around the forest area, right?
The village or the tunnel?
The village.
The village, okay.
So, according to the urban legend, near the village entrance, right, there's a handwritten sign that says that the Japanese constitution is not in effect past here.
Ha.
It's like the Hills Have Eyes kind of level crazy
Right.
one. Like so there's the old Inunaki tunnel that leads to the village.
Right.
Yeah, and according to the legends, in the 1970s, a young couple on their way to a certain part of Japan by car went into the forest to seek help because their engine broke down. And when they entered the Inunaki village, a crazy old man greeted them and murdered them with a sickle. A sickle. How do you pronounce?
Sickle.
Murdered them with a sickle. And in another story, a telephone booth near the Inunaki bridge receives a call from Inunaki village itself. And people are the call is transported to the village, and people who listen to the call, they get cursed and then force them to lose control of their body and mind. This is all urban legends. So the origin and spread of this urban legend, right, started when the original tunnel was completed in 1949. And there was another tunnel that was built in 1975. So the old one was in disuse already. So and because it's lack of maintenance, so it's unsafe to use.
Right.
But on December 6, 1988, 5 young men adopted and tortured a factory worker whose car they wanted to steal, burning him to death with gasoline and inside the old tunnel.
Holy crap.
And they were all arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment. And then therefore, right, the entrance to the old tunnel was sealed. And in 2000, a dead body was found near the area also. So that whole area is already creepy and weird already. I can talk about Inunaki village, right, in the entire episode of The Air, because there's so much things. But we try to focus on the tunnel. So there's this video, which I will play right now, of this Japanese YouTuber going to the Inunaki village. It's like maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
And he was just walking. There was one person standing inside.
Oh.
And he was like, Nani? Nani? And the person slowly turned. Then he just back off. Very creepy. And this was in the afternoon. This is creepy as hell. And the first online mentions, right, of like the Inunaki village / tunnel, right, became an urban legend back in 1999 when the Nippon TV station received a letter from an anonymous person which described the legend of the place where the couple was murdered in the village and urged the Nippon TV crew to visit that place. Then the anonymous title was titled The Village in Japan That Isn't Part of Japan.
Right.
And I think they went down. I think then something happened. Yeah. So yeah, it's very well covered. If you're a horror person, you watch horror content, you confirm got see before. One of my favorite horror creators that does Japan horror, Tara A. Devlin, she did a whole piece on it. I will link it down below. You can go and listen or watch. A horror film called The Howling Village was shot based on that legend, a Japanese film in 2019, and it also contributed to the popularity of that tunnel. And then there's a Steam game that was released in the same year, also called Inunaki Tunnel. And it's like, let us know if you want to see us play, or should I say, see Wayne play. Then of course Junji Ito did a story called The Story of the Mysterious Tunnel. But most recently, if you watch Dan 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 Dan, then you see this yokai character inside the ghost show. It's an anime called Turbo Granny. Basically the main character saw her in the tunnel and that tunnel I believe is Inunaki Tunnel, because one of the urban legends is that you go in, you cannot go out. Very hard for you to go out. You meet someone and you cannot go out. Then that happened in the show also then I mean the Turbo Granny thing, I think is not from this urban legend but from another urban legend. But like it's quite interesting that they never in the anime they never say it's Inunaki, or for obvious reasons. Yeah. But I can tell it's Inunaki.
Can you imagine the people of Inunaki village, right? And they're just like normal people, and they're like, why do people keep telling these stories about us? It's like, we're just trying to live our lives, and then y'all build a tunnel, disrupt our life, and then people show up dead as if our fault like that. No, we have to live down here, no.
Yeah. So the thing with Japan, right, is that there is a lot of abandoned tunnels, a lot of abandoned train tracks because it's huge. Yeah. And shrinking population. So a lot of people move out from the villages. So eventually you get abandoned, which is quite common to see in Japan.
Are there
Yeah.
people still living in Inunaki village?
From what I know, no.
Right.
But there are people who are much braver and then they went to go and explore. Apparently it's empty lah. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I'd be kind of curious to visit.
Oh, you should really
Don't. Oh crap!
You want to see You want to see
Oh crap! I just sit
This
on
one.
the camera.
You want to see this Yeah. So people have actually entered. I mean, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Yeah. So I mean, there's a game also lah. You just visit in the game lah.
Okay, we'll just visit in the game. How about that? Yeah. We'll just visit in the game.
You visit in the game lah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's it's near the Fukuoka. It's in the Fukuoka prefecture lah. Yeah, it's like quite deep in the mountains
Huh.
Yeah.
I forget what I said. I'm not going to visit. I'm not going to visit it. Okay, don't start leaving comments asking us to visit, because first of all, travel budget a bit extensive lah.
Yeah, but we jump into a little bit of theory lah. Why do you think the tunnel is sealed from the public?
I honestly believe that it is. I think it's actually very innocent reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the old tunnel was just not safe, and so they sealed it from the public when they opened the new tunnel. I think that's it. I think that's the... Okay. No disrespect to anybody from Yishun, but I feel like this might be a case of Yishun syndrome, where there's a lot of weird shit happening around the area, and it just is a coincidence. So if A, we don't know whether that couple really got killed or whether that's an urban legend. B, the murder in the tunnel, that was documented, right? The
Yes.
Okay, so that one, yes, that's unfortunate, but also it's an abandoned tunnel. If they were going to set fire to anybody somewhere, they would have done it in the abandoned tunnel.
Yeah, this was 1988.
Yeah.
So it was not sealed yet.
But it wasn't sealed, but it was, the new tunnel already had been built, right?
Yes.
That was 1975.
It's abandoned already lah.
Correct. So I feel like that plus old and in disrepair, that contributes to it getting sealed up. Like I think it's the cart before the horse thing. Somebody got murdered down there, and then to discourage people from being, creepy and going on there, it's like, oh, I want to visit the murder spot. They sealed up the tunnel. Unfortunately, by sealing up the tunnel, it made people even more interested to go visit the murder spot now. So,
correct. And also the rumors is that the old tunnel leads to the village. And I think shortly after the murder, then that happened, right? Then 1999, they received the letter,
Wait, hang on. So does the new tunnel lead to the village?
No.
Oh.
So it's like leads to a highway or something lah.
Oh.
So the old tunnel, no.
Huh.
So that's why there's an urban legend that they are trying to cover up something. And because that the very cryptic message that you see, the Japanese constitution don't work here or something, then so for me I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Like I said, the whole idea of Inunaki village and that region as a whole can constitute as a whole episode of Dead Air, because it's so deep. There's investigation done, there are people that actually went in, so it's a lot of weird things lah. But talking about the tunnel, I think there's a reason why they seal it.
What's your theory?
My theory is that there are groups of people inside that area that may have hues, have eyes, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, there may be danger to people because, like what you said, they seal it and then the urban legend exploded, right?
Yeah.
Then more people want to go.
Yeah.
In fact, during the pandemic, there were a lot of people there. It became a tourist spot. Yes. Dark tourism. A lot of Angmo explorers, they like to go there also. So, I think it's to deter people from actually getting hurt by going there. But it also doesn't help that, there might be sightings.
So if Pigman decides to go on a holiday, I guess we know where he's visiting.
Big man cannot take plane because the passport photo a bit weird.
Yeah, true,
cannot
true.
identify.
True.
Yeah, so let us know what you think of the Inunaki tunnel, because there's so many ways to go. You can go in fact you can even go alien. You could.
Go on.
No, because strange sightings, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Strange sighting and in the mountains. Nobody goes to the mountains.
That's true.
Why would you go to the mountains? And Japan is huge. They have a lot of national parks. Why would you go to somewhere that's possibly abandoned? And if you're saying that, okay, let's say you want to off yourself, you don't go there. You go to the sea or forest near Mount Fuji. So there's no reason for people to be there, ma. And the road is closed. It's not say they're going to use that road to go somewhere. You can use the new tunnel.
Yeah.
So there's like the alien aspect. There's like the spirit aspect, like the apparitions and the ghosts. And then there's like the more physical one where there's actually tribes that are like living there.
I think I like that one the most. The Hills of Ice.
Yeah, the crazy people or the monsters they are there.
Yeah.
So who knows? But the fact that they never go and try to clear it means that it's not that significant to them. Because that's the thing with big countries. The land, right, is unused for many, many years. It's okay. Because we got a lot more land. And this is not near city center. This is the mountain area. It's fine. We just block it. Don't let anything come out. Don't let anything go in. That's it. Swap. If it's in Singapore, whoa, this will be a big thing, man. Because land is scarce, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So interesting. I feel like that's quite interesting.
I mean, it would be hard to find like hidden tribes of like, cannibal murderers in Singapore. Where exactly are they going to hide? Punggol Park.
Longkang.
Yeah, Punggol Park also cannot. Punggol Park got cafe down there.
Longkang.
Maybe
Longkang,
Longkang. Now you see somebody's going to start urban legend about like cannibals living
Longkang
in
man.
Longkang. It's like the saddest superhero of all. I am Longkang man.
Yeah. So Inunaki village is said to be one of the most scariest places in Japan. Yeah. So yeah. Let us know. And also let us know which one is your favorite.
Yes.
So we gave you about 7.
Yeah, I think 7+ because of your Pepsi twist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 7+.
Yeah,
so let us know, which one is your favorite and why. And let us know what you think of the Pigman.
Let us know what you think of the Pigman. Let us know what you think if there was a tribe of cannibals living in the sewers in Singapore, what would they be called? And no, Longkang Kitties is already a name that's taken up by somebody else.
Don't be mean lah.
Hi, Longkang Kitties.
Yeah. So yeah, and also let us know what topics you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
We are gonna do the property agent one. Just need time. Like haunted, whatever. Haunted. I don't think haunted toilet is big enough, but haunted something lah. We did haunted school, haunted roads, haunted hospitals. Yeah.
So those are the stuff that we've done. If you want to see more of those, let us know. Yes, we will happily revisit like how we revisited in this episode. But where else do you want us to explore? Want us to explore?
I thought you want to go down here.
No. See,
you said explore.
Yeah, I was like explore from the comfort of this table.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and as always, subscribe, like, share. Yeah.
Look at us. We sound like such old people. Getting this classic YouTube vibe going.
Yeah. Right? In 3, 2, 1.
And remember,
just because they're stories
doesn't mean they're not true.
Good night, everyone.
See you guys.
If you want to stay up to date on HANTU or listen to our other podcasts like Ghost Maps, subscribe now and follow us on social media. Look for We Are HANTU or click the links in the description. You can also be one of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Air is a HANTU production, hosted by Kyle Ong and Wayne Ray, with album art by Jolene Lim, and recorded on Audio Technica mics.